So yeah, as I promised, welcome back to Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, but not quite as you remembered because about 4 to 5 years later, the game got a revision on the Nintendo Wii.
Well, re-release more like it.
That would explain that weird wide A.
So yeah, Nintendo had this whole thing back in the Wii days called the New Play Control, where they took a few things from the GameCube era and effectively gave them Wii controls. And out of a lot of them, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat probably got the biggest change out of all of them because, well, you'll see what we mean momentarily.
For better and or worse.
It was definitely more than just a control update, which I do still think out of all the ones that got the control update, I think Pikmin got the best quality of life improvement. But
however, I will say I agree with Scott the Woz when he says, "Man, the covers were fucking shit for those."
It's just the GameCube packaging on a Wii, on a Wii box art background.
No, yeah, not exactly. It's like, instead of just doing the original packaging and then, putting just a little stamp...
my aching head. DK. The other kingdoms are taking all our bananas away. Go kill them. Go show
Please
those...
help us.
Go show those nasty kings who's boss. Oh, I forgot. If you swipe that thing while tilting the... you'll send a sound wave in the direction you focus.
Because that's the one thing that Jungle Beat just desperately needed. Text-based tutorials.
Led by not bottles.
Did I hear you're going to help us? You'll punish the other kings? Oh, I can't wait to see that. Get warmed up by testing your strength on that barrel tree over there.
The game, we don't need lore as to why Donkey Kong wants to beat things up.
He just likes beating things up.
There we go.
I mean, what more do you want out of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat?
DK's fucking pissed. It's the game.
So, like, the box art, just throw it up on here. It looks like it's thrown up, to be fair.
It's very tacky.
Yeah, it's incredibly tacky. All they could have done is just take the original box art of the GameCube, put the Wii label, and then put with new Wii Play Control. That's it. That's all they could have done.
That's, to be fair
Isn't
though,
that
Matt,
kinda
that's
what
kind of
they
what they did because aside from that, they all did have reversible covers if you wanted the whole damn thing there, along with the tagline "New Play Control."
Then make that the
You have your option.
primary cover.
Yeah, make that the primary cover.
Well, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I at least appreciate that they gave us the choice in the first place.
Please clap.
So for now, let's talk about this game. So James, what big differences were there in the control scheme, and how do you feel about them? Asking James first.
Well, first and foremost, Donkey Kong actually has a little more analog control. It's not just a matter of treating it like you're banging on the bongos like they were directional buttons. He can look up, he can crouch. Fun little callback to Donkey Kong Country.
Oh
He can slap the ground like a big boy.
Make it a Donkey Kong
You can also duck
Country.
by holding down the button, and you can even use this as a means to do your other means like backflipping and ground pounding. So I'll definitely give the game points there for the controls feeling a little more traditional in that sense. Though they also made it so that if you want to grab all these bananas in sequence, you gotta press the A button now. There's no red ring of a sort in order for DK to literally latch all around, which is probably my biggest problem with this game.
Well, I get that.
But otherwise, it's still very much like an arcade-like where your main goal is to fill up your beat points as much as possible, and it's still very well possible to get some insane combo game and whatnot. Though, at the same time, with the way the game controls now, you kind of have to play it a bit differently. It's not quite as fast.
The game is very slower paced compared to the original.
Well, there has to be more thought behind your actions than just going riding that adrenaline high.
Which I guess is the big make or break thing about the Wii port is that do you prefer this more slow and methodical approach that has a little more thought?
This
Like
whole
it has
stop
you have a
and
little
go
more
thing.
option to your control, or would you rather play like the GameCube original, which treated itself with very few, you have very little to worry about aside from two directional buttons and clapping.
Oh wait, James, man, what was that Pac-Man token that we saw fall into the aether?
Oh, that the coin that I just passed.
Yeah, those two.
That thing right there. That is an extra life.
Huh.
Oh no.
To kind of make it more along the lines of like a traditional platformer, they gave us both a life counter and, if James ever gets hit, a health bar as well.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you have 3 hearts to your name now, which is another thing that they did to make this game feel a little more traditional than its GameCube counterpart. Which, I mean, it's one of those... I'll be fair to the Wii version. It's honestly one of the few things I actually don't mind all that much, because whenever you get hit, whenever you take damage, instead of your beats going down, it's your health.
Yeah, see?
So you don't have to actually lose it. So it. Oh, jeez.
Also, those things actually hurt you now.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they do. No, I'll also give credit to the Wii version in that they're actually easier to take down thanks to your ground pound actually having its own sound wave.
Right. I think just in general, the way I would look at it as far as like taking damage from those little rat thingies is it's just another element of to me, it's just another element of like strategy. Like, hey, do you want to do you have you saved up enough health to this point to be able to take that hit to maximize your beat counter?
Yeah.
But of course, as always, you can still do this.
Now, does your health refill between levels?
If I'm remembering correctly, this is actually a redo of one of the first commentaries I joined for.
One of the first look ats, yeah, no. Like a long time ago, when I did want to show off like some of the Wii-centric Donkey Kong games, I did have Iki on board because I think that was one of, if not the first time, he joined us for it for our stuff, and well, it's been a magical ride ever since.
Icky on board.
Would you say it's been an icky ride?
I could have sworn he was on board like even beforehand, because he was there when we did like our original look at On the Loose, wasn't he? Or commentary, I mean.
Yeah.
He was there with us for On the Loose, and I think the very first thing he was with us for was for Sonic Adventure DX, when we were doing the Knuckles scenario.
Right, I remember that now.
Yeah, wow, that was a long time ago.
I remember that because someone was being a little baby and kept quiet throughout the second half of this campaign.
Well, to be fair, it still proved my point.
There was a lot of talking at the time. We were so young.
Yeah, young and inexperienced. Now we're just inexperienced.
Sonic Adventure DX, but
James, I was going to ask if you could go back and demonstrate one of the more annoying things that they took. They actually took out of this version of the game.
Sure.
Those weird Pac-Man enemies in the walls.
Oops.
Into hell he goes.
Well, down he goes. I guess
Do we get to
that's
continue
it.
from the start of that level?
During
Okay,
a
we
test run, James did get 666, and the level we immediately went to was hell.
Yeah, the Banshee
It
Swamp.
was a spooky forest.
You summoned it. So to get this out of the way before I turn the conversation to Hype and Matt, Icky, your rather transparent thoughts about the remake.
I don't really like it. Like, back then I was being a little bit more vocal because, hey, it's my first time on the YouTube saying funny words.
You're fine.
But nowadays I like to think I'm a little bit more thoughtful in how I try and say things with my mouth parts.
Which is fine. Nobody's judging that part. We're just here, so go for it.
Basically, I don't really like how stop and go, the Wii version of this game is.
Yeah, the other one has like an energy to it. This game.
And no, you cannot
feels
get these
stopping.
guys anymore.
Curses.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're purely an obstacle.
Though I guess for what it's worth, there are other ways for DK to really rack up the beats in this version of the game. Which again, it's the few saving graces this game has going for it.
But they actually
Observe.
add in extra means of obtaining bananas or beets.
Such as with the heart meter that we have now. If you manage to beat a level with all 5 of your hearts, that is an automatic 150 beats added to your total.
You said 5
Oh,
hearts.
goodness. Well, still, goodness, that's a lot.
Wait, did I say 5 hearts? I meant 3 hearts.
It's fine.
I say air hearts.
Well, either way, but still, that's a nice bonus that they added in for free.
I forgot Banana Bunch.
So now, as a result, first off, whoa, the hell?
An extra a heart.
Oh, for getting 1,000 beats.
Yeah, at
Yeah, so
certain
I-
beat intervals, the game will reward you with an extra heart or an extra life, depending on your circumstances.
It's like a hey, not bad indicator.
I just realized we take control of the squirrel by slapping it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how DK solves most of his problems. So, is there, as a result of getting some of these free beats, James, does the total needed to get the platinum medal and stuff change as well?
No,
Actually, yes.
it does?
For the sake of the Wii version, they actually expect you to get less beats than before. You only need 10,000 beats in order to get all the crests.
1,000.
I mean 1,000 beets.
Yeah, 1,000 beats.
Goodness me, if you wanted 10,000 from us,
Yeah,
geez,
10,000!
that is godly play would need to be happening there.
Man, it's like they didn't even playtest this piece of shit. What gives?
No.
I mean, I will unfortunately say there are a few points where I do feel convinced that they didn't, because while I do think there's certain things that they did do pretty well, there's other things I think they should have playtested more, and that's no doubt more apparent than with some of the animal buddies.
Yes.
Though that being said, the battles are more or less the same, so that's all more or less covered.
It's time to go up against Dreadlock Monkey.
He's the original of the bunch.
I don't know him that well.
I thought DK was the leader of the bunch.
I guess he works at, like, the local grocer.
Maybe.
Also, yes, Punch Out again.
Yeah, though, because of the Wii controllers not being, like, physical buttons, you have to shake a bit more to actually get in those heavy hits.
Yeah, and I will admit, I'm still using Dolphin, and I haven't quite figured out how to properly emulate the Wii waggle for the sake of this game, so apologies if it may seem a little slower than it should be.
No
Yeah.
worries.
No worries.
And yeah,
There
they
you
expect you to waggle it up.
Yeah.
All in all, I don't think this is a bad remake, just different.
Yeah, no, that's exactly my general consensus.
What is that?
It's a crown.
Oh,
you know, the
Dread-
kinds of kings wear.
Dread Kong.
The never
I get it.
crown?
Only just now noticed his name was Dread Kong. They said that at the start.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, the dreaded Kong.
And I do love that little detail that when during these crest checks, DK is wearing that crown. It looks it's so doofy, yet I love it.
Yeah.
Only downside is that I do think the way they changed the crest system is a little lame.
Oh, they're no longer different colors.
Yeah, you only get 3 in a level instead of 4.
Not only that, but they're all the same color.
You gotta have your medals.
They're all the same color. There's only 3 of them to collect as opposed to 4. And for the sake of this game, they treat their purpose a little differently. So you see, the main gist of the Wii version of Jungle Beat is that you're primarily going after the crowns. The crests are mostly there as a special collectible, which if you collect all 3 of them in each area of a barrel, then you unlock the secret 4th kingdom for the Wii version, as opposed to, where you can play all 4 pretty much within the line.
Okay.
Huh.
So just beating the kingdom gets you the crown.
Exactly.
And once you beat all the when you beat all the levels proper, then you are allowed to progress.
In that case, why didn't they make the emblems like a collectible instead?
I mean, that's essentially what they tried doing with the Wii GameCube version anyway, wasn't it?
No, but those are a reward for getting a high enough score. In this case,
Right.
it's trying to go for a more standard platformer. Why not hide it somewhere in the level for you to collect?
Well, to be fair, Iki, that's all. It's because they still want to give purpose to the beat system. Because, well, again, you get the crest by improving your score, and that still holds true here.
I guess?
Makes sense.
So I mean, for what it's worth, it's a weird little shift around that I guess in the long run doesn't really change much of anything. Like it's still the same. You still unlock everything as you should at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just different. And I guess, well, by and large, I guess it squarely hinges on if you have any nostalgia for this game or not.
I do.
Right.
The
And
GameCube version, that is.
And if you do have nostalgia for it, then it may seem off-putting at first.
but at the same time, you didn't lose the original. It's still there. You can play it right now, Iki.
I can.
Technically, that's true.
By the way,
You still-
what was it?
What's up?
What was
Yes.
I going to say? Oh, right. One little tidbit that I don't like about this version of the game compared to the original. You can't use the GameCube bongos despite the Nintendo Wii having a GameCube controller port.
Well, that's
That's-
primarily because... Go ahead, Matt. I think you're about to say the same thing I was about to say.
That is a downside of the New Play series. The fact that because they wanted to push the Wii-centric motion in general, they're like, so yeah, we're just going to take out all GameCube compatibility whatsoever with these games. You have to
Moving
play it with the
forward.
Wii.
That's lame.
Well,
Oh,
okay, in all fairness, that's not what I was going to bring up, but I guess
Oh.
fair enough. But no, I would say for Jungle Beat's case, I can understand why, because the level design was reshifted to focus on the more traditional controls. Like, this would not, like, a good handful of what they had changed would not have worked as well with the bongos.
I mean, to be fair, we just passed like a couple of DK barrel, well, not DK barrels, but like barrel cannons, and some
Right.
knock thwumps.
I mean, yeah, no, they're pretty much, well, I mean, and that is pretty much the one thing I will definitely give in favor of the Wii version as well. They do call back more, like, a little more towards, you know, the series' roots than the original game did. Like, you have the barrel cannons for here, and then I know later on there's a rather interesting little cameo appearance from an enemy type that was found as early as Donkey Kong Jr.
Damn.
Huh?
Also, I do apologize. That's not what you're going to say, James. Though, yeah, to admit
That's fine.
that is another problem with the whole Wii Play series and stuff like that. Or
Well,
whatever
again,
it's called.
I just don't think it would work as well because they changed the game up to make the most out of the new play control. It's not like every other game where they just, you know, slap the Wii controls and call it a day. No, they more or less rebuilt this game from the ground up for the sake of the controls.
To be fair, they did that with a few other games, like they did technically do that with Pikmin, because there was a couple changes they had to make to the game to compensate for the fact that, like, you're now using the Wii Button and all that. So,
And admittedly, Pikmin's one of the better, you know, incarnations of the new play control system.
I mean, at the same time, though, they didn't really change much beyond the controls, and it also proves with those kinds of controls just how easy it is to break that game in half.
I didn't notice the fucking screaming by the rock, by the way.
Yeah, they screech.
Whoop.
And they're
Okay,
loud.
there you go.
Also, I like how Donkey Kong's woodpeckering sounds more like a jackhammer.
Oh yeah, no, I love that.
It's very
This
silly.
game, this game completely embraces the cartoony nature of Nintendo while still being savage as all get out, and I love it.
Is it still rated E10?
Yes.
Okay.
I forgot.
I mean,
that
honestly, now that I
E10
think about it, I think this is still the only DK-centric game that's rated E10.
When
my
did
knowledge,
E10 show up? Like, wasn't that
Jungle
like,
Beat actually invented it.
Yeah.
seriously? This is
Yeah, no, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is to the ESRB as Indiana Jones was to, you know, movie ratings.
So it created the E10. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what game started it. Thank you for revealing that, because literally I was just about to look it up.
Well, the idea is the game is more violent than a traditional Mario, like, T for everyone kind of game.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not exactly T for teen. Like, there's no blood, there's no violence, there's no swearing or cursing or whatever.
Well, there's plenty of violence, just.
Well, it's exaggerated violence.
Right, and I don't think there's, save for maybe a few things, there's not really any overly scary imagery in this game.
There really isn't.
Which, I mean, saying something, considering I'd still think that, I think this game really does nail how intimidating the world of Donkey Kong can be.
Assuming this is the standard Donkey Kong world.
Well, yeah. Again, this is very much its own self-contained game. There is absolutely no ties to the other games whatsoever, aside from Donkey Kong and Bananas.
It could very easily be recontextualized into Donkey Kong's worldwide trip, World's Bonanza.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, by the way, it's, you know, true to its nature being a Wii title.
Rest in peace, Iwata.
I do appreciate them actually spicing it up and a banana there.
Yeah.
That is a nice banana.
I guess before we do end things proper, let's have ourselves some fun with the Monkey Fest!
Oh, goody!
Monkey Fest.
Monkey Fest.
One of the few relatively untouched levels in the game.
Really? Oh, also,
Well,
wow.
in terms of how you're really to do. Yeah, see?
No, really. Grab bananas, huh?
Well, more like grab them without touching the floor.
Oh, right.
Or getting
How?
hit.
So would you say this game is easier or harder than the original?
It's a mix of both. There's some things that I think are easier, and there's others that are much harder. Namely, the stuff involving the animal buddies.
And the Kong
Okay.
bosses.
I'd say the Kong bosses are more or less the same.
No,
I would...
I can't stand the Kong bosses in the Wii version. The Waggle
Why
does
so?
not help.
Because the
I
waggling?
assume, Iki, you're just not a fan of the Wii Waggle in general.
I think he likes the precision and the tactile sense of the buttons more, which I don't blame him all the way.
Well, no, because there's also like that slight delay between every shake of the remotes and actually punching or kicking or dodging.
I mean, I'll be fair though. Like, don't take this footage for granted because again, I wasn't able to properly emulate the that whole feel of how the Waggle can work because like from my experience, it more or less is the same. It's just you gotta waggle it really damn fast.
Right.
Yeah, but you're still clearing the game pretty smoothly.
Bam! 700.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing the best with what I can here. Honestly, ironic as this is for me to say, I think my original footage, which was recorded off of the Wii U for the record, more or less does sum up how the game would control naturally. I'm just doing this for the sake of posterity at this point, and also to give, the Wii version another fair shake. Ha, get it?
Also, so you guys have a comparison to between early Icky and current Icky. It's a historical record.
When you really stop and think about it, there's not much of a difference, is there?
Is there?
I mean, you'll have to be the one to look back and find out. Because I honestly can't stand looking back on my older videos.
I mean, thinking about it, it was a lot more rambunctious.
All I remember in the old days is when I didn't have a microphone, I had to rely on my Mac's internal mic. It sucked.
Same here.
And the only thing I remember about the olden days is that life really didn't want me to have a good internet connection until now.
I mean, yeah, that was back when you had a pretty ow.
Oh boy.
When you had a pretty owl.
I guess you could say it's pretty shocking.
Oh! Matt, why do you do this? Why do you
Because,
pun?
That's one thing that's
because
really
the one
hasn't
thing
changed.
that will never change are my puns.
Okay.
Yeah, punishment is eternal.
Basically.
Eternal punishment.
But you know what? That does remind me. Someday I do need to show you guys Sentence Punishment for the channel. Because that is a very solid shooter-like from Nintendo.
Yeah, I do remember you talking about that quite a few times. I wouldn't mind seeing it in action.
I wouldn't mind seeing the protagonist in that game come back for Smash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they nixed him from being in the Assist Trophy again.
What's his name again? Saki?
Saki Imamiya?
They
Mamiya?
nixed a bunch of like assist trophies from what I remember. Anyway.
Like Isaac from Golden Sun.
No, Isaac's back.
Oh, well, Isaac, ironically, they did bring back.
Yeah, I will still forever be angered by by taking away the trophies though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still bumming me out.
I love that there's an entire website now dedicated to basically doing that. Like, have you? I've
Cataloging
already
all
told
the
you about.
trophies?
I've already told you about that, Matt.
No.
There's a website, and they've been doing a lot of cataloging. There is a website that has basically been doing Nintendo's job for them. So what else is new? But in this website, they take literally every single spirit from Ultimate and list them out, organize them by franchise, and even give some flavor text and stuff for each of them.
Have they been doing
You know?
that for all the DLC spirits too?
Yes. Again, it's a work in progress, but it's a website that's, again,
But
basically
it's-
what Nintendo could have done.
It's why, in my opinion, again, like I'm going always.
That's the worst of the series.
No. What?
It's all a joke.
Checkpoint.
He was a joke.
Not a very funny joke.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
what were you
wasn't
saying, Matt?
I wasn't
Anyway,
saying
go
it's
ahead.
the worst in the series. What I was saying was I still am angry that Nintendo did the most barest minimums effort
Oh,
ever.
wait, what happened to the... Oh, you didn't clap it in time.
Did the most barest minimum effort ever when it comes to the spirits, because all they did with the spirits is just put a JPEG. Yes, they might have enhanced it, but anybody can fucking enhance the JPEG.
Anybody can make a JPEG, like this one right here.
Aren't some of the spirit pictures also, like, they actually had some people, like, make pictures exclusive for some of the spirits?
That's fair, but there's another problem. One of the things I loved about the trophies was little descriptions on each character, the games they came from, who they were and all that. We don't have any of that with the spirits. Absolutely none.
Which is why, again, there's a website that does. I'll link it to you, Matt, and everything will be right as rain. For now, let's kick this pig's ass. Ooh!
Boom.
Oh, you can still do that move. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like some things are just eternal. But yeah, I do agree that I understand what their reasoning for getting rid of trophies in general, because especially considering everything else Smash Ultimate was doing, they would have absolutely no time on their hands to really make more brand new models for that shit. Though at the same time, I do agree they should have at least added descriptions.
Yeah.
That's really all I would have asked for.
Just some flavor text or something about it, you know.
They are a very busy development team, I will say.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're still not done.
Also,
we still
Donkey
got,
Kong, the king Donkey Kong, the man with the greatest potassium in the world.
Yep. That's where all that. You
The
know.
highest potassium levels, you mean.
The highest potassium levels.
So let's do it.
Potassium potential.
You got this.
So, listen, I'm terribly sorry for mistaking you for my little friend Timon. Here.
Have a watermelon.
Banana!
Doop.
Why don't you like melons?
Screeches in Donkey Kong. He doesn't listen to reason. He only listens to the voices inside his head.
You know what? That's what makes him such a great presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, not
Just
presidential, Senate candidate. What am I saying?
A senator.
Just got an order from the boss. Dump everything that isn't about Banana Slammers.
Yeah, he knows what he likes.
And it's certainly not here.
Can James beat him in this one go? Nope.
Well, it's not like the boss itself's really that hard.
It's really not. Like, we've been through this shindig before, just now with Wii controls.
Yeah.
Which again, not the best example I could show, but well,
Blammo!
if there was an easier way for me to sync my Wii remote and nunchuck onto the PC, I probably would have done that by now. Maybe also cleaned it up in the process. But yeah, I guess with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, we've literally wiped out a good like 3/4 of the D barrels all in one fell swoop.
3/4, but there were only 3!
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
That's good enough for Senator DK.
I just realized all the crests are the exact same color in this version, whereas
Yeah, we were
the
talking
other-
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
It makes me
It's
really
not the
upset
medals.
because it gets rid of the diversity and the, that feeling of satisfaction when you see a platinum crest fall from the moon after seeing the bronze, the silver, and the gold. But now it's just all platinums all the time, all of that, every day. We have a clearance sale of these stupid things. They're worthless.
Platinum fidget spinners for everyone.
Oh God.
Oh, goody.
Well,
But yeah, no, this is pretty much the gist of the Wii version of the game. Like, it's not too much.
Enjoy your Christmas wreath.
Yeah.
What?
And for more or less completing everything here, the barrel was able to pop up one more kingdom.
Ooh. They squeezed one more out.
look at that.
And, yeah, that's actually I believe that's supposed to be a kingdom you don't get to, like, the near end of the game in the original game, so...
Yeah.
Have fun.
Doop.
And then the cave barrel says, "Hey, can I come in now?"
No.
Yeah, I want to join in the fun.
I like fun too.
Apples.
Apples and
Bananas.
bananas. And yeah, so I guess with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I know this wasn't the most invigorating thing of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat we've shown all day, but that's pretty much it for our, little brief showcase of the Wii version of the game. Again, if you have absolutely no other option to play the original Jungle Beat, especially with, getting the pristine bongo experience,
Or if you don't like exhilaration, then by all means.
Anyway. But yeah, I think what you showed here, James, I like this. I think it's a neat little idea.
and actually for those that do still have a Wii U somewhere in their basement somewhere, I do believe that the Wii version is available on the Virtual Console.
Okay.
Skippy.
So yeah, well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess next time we dive into the weird minds of this particular team of Nintendo, we're going back to Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Cool.
Go hoo hoo.
And also, speaking of 2, stay tuned for our next crazy antics with the wild ape.
Yeah. Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Echo.